we're going to start with solving equations. So we did some pretty easy ones on Monday. So we're just going to work up to what we've done this year already. So it's going to be review again, but I want to go over it. So we're going to start with two-step equations. And so remember, we still have to isolate that variable. So we're still trying to get A alone. Remember, our volleyball teams get variables on one side, numbers on the other. So my 81 has to go away first. It's positive 81. So negative 81 is going to cancel it. So it's a 0 here and 9A here. Now remember, I have to get A by itself. So when I have a number next to a variable, I've multiplied. So the inverse would be to divide. So 0 divided by 9 is 0. And it is okay to get a 0 answer. All right, the next one. So this has got variables on both sides. So this is that one where it really doesn't matter where you start. You can start anywhere you want. I usually start with the variables, but it's totally up to you. This is where the friend next to you could start at a completely different spot than you, and you should still end up with the same answer. So I'm going to move this 3x over to this side. So this is a positive 3x, so negative 3x to both sides. And it has to go underneath the 6x because they are like terms. It cannot go underneath the 6. So does anybody know what needs to go away now? Good. Negative 6 to both sides. Okay. Then I have x and a number next to each other, so I've multiplied, so the inverse would be to divide. So that cancels, and x equals a negative divided by a positive is a negative 9. Same thing on this next one. I'll give you a chance to get it written down if you're doing it. On the next one, though, there's a little hitch to it. You may see what's wrong there. What am I missing there that I need to put in before I can start the problem? Good. When you don't have a number in front of a variable, a 1 automatically goes there. So again, I can start anywhere I want to start. I'm going to start by getting rid of this negative 1x. So a negative 1x, a positive 1x will cancel that. It has to go under the variable with the x, so positive 1x to this side. So that cancels. I'm left with 9 equals. Now if I have a negative 5 and a positive 1, that's a negative 4x plus 5. Now, I need to leave my variable alone. I need to get this 5 away from that. So negative 5 will cancel. That leaves me with 4 on this side, equaling negative 4x on this side. So I've multiplied again, so I'm going to divide to eliminate that negative 4. Now, this is where I see mistakes. 4 divided by negative 4 is not 0. Positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. All right, let's go to the next one. We have 4 more. All right, next one. Who knows what I have to do on this one? Anybody? What's these parentheses mean I have to do? Awesome. Great language. So distribute. That's 6. And remember, you have to give the candy to everybody in the classroom. So I'm going to give 6 to the Z and to the 1. Anybody outside the parentheses, they're not in the class. They're out in the hallway somewhere. But we only give the candy to somebody inside the class. So 6Z and positive 6 times negative 1 is negative 6 equals 24. So now we can start solving just like normal. I need to get everything away from the Z, so I'm going to get rid of my negative 6 with the positive 6 to both sides. And again, I need to get everything away from Z. I've multiplied by 6, so we divide by 6. So Z is left equaling positive 5. All right, next one. It's really the same thing. I'm going to distribute my positive 2. So that gives me 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times positive 6 is positive 12 equals 18. Now we're right back to just solving. So I need to get rid of that positive 12. So negative 12 to both sides. And then my next thing is divide by 6. All right, so this one looks a lot more difficult, but it's really not. It's just keeping your steps in order. First thing we're going to do is distribute. That's the very first thing we do. So we're going to take this negative 2 and we're going to give it to negative 5x. And we're going to give it to positive 5. So negative times a negative is a positive 10x. And a negative times a positive is a negative 10. Then everything else stays the same. Does anybody know what I have to do before I actually start solving? You have to do on this side. Remember what that's called? Combined like terms. So if I have 10x and negative 3x, it gives me 7x. And I have negative 10 and positive 4 gives me negative 6 equals negative 34. Now I can just start solving my problem. So the negative 6, we got to get it away from this x. So we're going to positive 6 to both sides. And I'm left with 7x equals negative 28. I've multiplied by 7, so now I divide by 7. And negative divided by a positive is a negative. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Okay, last one is going to be similar to it. If I'm going too fast, somebody slow down. Okay, on this one, same thing. We're going to distribute first. We're going to give negative 2 to everybody inside that classroom. So negative 2 times 3x and negative 2 times negative 2. So negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Everything else stays the same. Now, once again, I got to combine those like terms. So negative 6x and positive 3x. Those are my like terms. So negative 6 and positive 3 is negative 3x. Positive 4 and positive 3 is positive 7 equals 34. All right, then we need to get rid of the 7, so negative 7 to both sides. And 34 minus 7 is 27. Isolate x, so we've multiplied by negative 3, so the inverse is divide by negative 3. And x equals positive divided by negative is a negative. 27 divided by 3 is 9. I know there's not many of you on here still. Does anybody have any major